All right. Let's go. Oh, let's get in the chair. How are we doing on this fine 75 degrees? As soon as I get my ass out of this seat, I'm going fishing Monday. I don't suppose I'll be catching much fish because the water's still probably a little bit too cold, but I'm going anyway. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to put my waders on and walk into the water, and maybe I'll get lucky and a tidal wave will get me out of debt. So, how we do? How are we doing? Before we get to the chat, what are we? Are we 14, 17 points out now? Like something. I know it's only 11. I know it's only 11. Um, good. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Can we just finish? We got to finish ahead of the Leafs, right? Like we at least. I know y'all want to tank, but we got to at least finish ahead of the Leafs, right? Right. Okay. So back to the chat. Hey, Colin. Oh yeah, Dolphin news for you, Dolphin fans. Tua got released. We gave Minko away to the Jets for a seventh round pick, which good job. Good job. That's nice. I mean, I thought he was worth more than that, but whatever. The tank for 27 is on. Scientist, I did respond to your email, huh? It only took me like 4 days or something, or 8 or something. I don't know. It took a while when I responded. Let's see. Jersey numbers: Sinestroza 24, Cole Reinhardt 29. Practice lines: let's see. Lundell with Rodriguez and Luosterainen. Bennett, Kachuk for Hagee. Nosek with Samoskevich and Greer, and Cullen with Hinestroza and Boquist. Okay. I mean, if we're going to tank, why don't we let Reinhardt play? Gadjevich and Cole Reinhardt are the extras, and no Sam Reinhardt or Marchand on the ice. Colin thinks it's probably for rest reasons. I hope not. It's done. They honestly, like Marchand's hurt. And Reinhardt hasn't been himself, with the exception of a few games in the playoffs last year, since about midway through last season. He needs a nap. Just LTI, SELTIR, Sam Reinhardt. So he just can't even think about coming back. And just get that guy in a, what do they call it, a hyperbaric chamber. Put him to sleep for 6 months. Let me see. March, April, May, June, July. Put him to sleep for 6 months. Just recovery. You're not even allowed to leave the house. Geno Smith has Miami as his preferred destination. No thanks. That is. You want to talk about, and I know we're here to talk about hockey, but you want to talk about something that would immediately end the honeymoon period that this new regime has in Miami, is if they go and put Geno Smith in at quarterback instead of just letting Quinn Ewers play or whoever else. Colin says, I do want to hear a Gadjevich update from Pomo soon. I don't think he's coming back. That's what I said about Nosek, too. Hungry said, seeing the rest of the league realize how much of a scumbag Hagel is has been refreshing. That dude, but he kicked, I forget whose ass it was, but he kicked somebody's ass last night. Wild stuff. Real says there was a Buffalo reporter who said you see these kinds of games a lot when Tampa plays Florida. A lot of people blame Florida for it all. Nope. It takes two to tango. Yeah. Now that Florida ain't doing it so much, right? Huh? Makes it makes you wonder. Real says, I think the playoffs remind people Tampa is just like us and why we brought in Maurice and Kachuk in the first place. Thank you. Right? We were chasing the Lightning. Anyway. Hungry says, low-key, I'm hoping they play each other. Oh, yeah. Tampa and Buffalo would be a sweet series. Now, do I think the Sabres are going to win the division? I don't know. They're 2 points ahead. They got 7 straight wins. Tampa has 2 in hand. If you're Tampa, does it really matter to you? Right? like if you play the Wings or the Canadians or the Bruins, in case the Bruins pop up that little bit, like it really shouldn't matter for them. Real says, unfortunately, I think Buffalo will lose in the first round and 5, maybe 6. Not enough playoff experience. Alex Lyon says, hold my beer, Real. I'm just saying. I know Alex Lyon wasn't exactly lights out against the Bruins. I understand that. But he started us off, man. Let's see, what was he? All right, so he wasn't great. He started 4 games. No, he played in 4 games. He started 3. He was 1-2 with a 3.63 and an 8.88. But that's the old Alex Lyon. The new Alex Lyon is 2.64 to 9.15. I'm just saying. If Buffalo, if we don't make the playoffs, I'll root for Buffalo because Alex Lyon. Why the hell? Hongi says, I think it could go either way. It will depend on their big guys stepping up when things get difficult. It does take some time to learn how to win. But I think as long as Buffalo avoids Tampa in the first round, they've got a good chance because they'll be going up against the Wings, who haven't really figured it out yet, even though they're better now, and the Canadians, who haven't really figured it out yet, even though they're better now. So as long as Buffalo doesn't play somebody like Tampa, Boston, or God forbid, Florida should actually do something, it ain't going to happen. I think Buffalo could win a round. Hey, SoFlo. The third best Dolphins quarterback of all time was released after 6 seasons. Did Jay Fiedler play that long with us? Damn, we're just now getting around to releasing Jay Fiedler. Who knew? Shine says, as nice as it was pretty bad for the tank. I mean, if we were 8 points, 6 points, and Boston had lost a couple of games, maybe we could have played imaginary hopscotch, but we're 11 points out. I'm hoping the practice lines are the real lines and we start just shutting guys down. Kazuma says, with no Panthers in the playoffs, it makes me not want to watch. If it wasn't for your stream, I probably wouldn't tune in. I appreciate that. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it fun. All right? I've got ideas. So just trust me. I've got a whole last month and a week to work on some things. We're going to make the playoffs fun. I promise. Hey, Shane. Silver says, Buffalo reminds me of us during the 21 season. Scrappy, beating down the Lightning during the regular season, then we get our ass whooped in the first round. Another thing I noticed, I made a post about this. They both played back-to-back, Tampa and Buffalo. And Tampa played Vasilevsky against Toronto and not Buffalo. And then Buffalo played Lyon against, I think they played the Preds. And so, I don't know. It's almost like they were both purposefully not playing the guy who would probably be their playoff goalie, right? Susie, has Reinhart even missed a game this season? I don't think so. I mean, the dude never misses games. No. He's played 63 games, played all the games this year. Last year, he played 79, but that was only because we started resting guys towards that last week and a half of the season. The previous year, 82. The previous year, 82. The previous year, 78. The previous year, 54 out of 56. The COVID year, all 69. Buffalo, 82. Buffalo, 82. 79. Like, the dude has missed like 10 games in his career. It's insane. It's just insane. Oh my gosh. The dude can take a rest. David says, hey, Johnson, I see your post. We win the next 2 home games, then we have a relatively easy West Coast swing. Not out yet. I know. I mean, I know we're not out yet. I didn't see which post are you talking about, though. Did you make a comment on the post I made this morning? Because that was the first. I think that's the first comment I seen of yours here this morning. No, I understand. Look, we're not technically out of it yet. The problem is Boston. They did lose. So what are we? We're even with Boston. We're 11 points out. God, I wish if it was like 8, David, I could be like, hey, but 11 is rough. 11 is rough. Like if we were at 8 and we could win a couple and get to 4, then you could start blinking really fast. But 11 really, 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 like you got to go. What do we got? 19 games left. You got to go 16-3. Kazuma says, who would we cheer for in a Lightning Vegas series or Lightning Oilers series? Oh, there's no doubt. That's so. In a Lightning Vegas series, I might be more apt to root for the Lightning. But in a Lightning Oilers series, I would want Lightning to have the embarrassment of being the first team to let a Canadian team win in all these years. Mankiller says, Sabres were on a complete warpath this year. The last time they made the playoffs, I was 12. There you go. Jeez. Yeah, Susie, Buffalo's good. I know, Kenneth. I watched Chasing the Biscuit put out the highlights of the fights. It's 10 minutes. The video is 15 minutes long. I was at the 10-minute mark, and it was still the first period. Susie says everyone's underestimating Boston. I don't know. I don't like Swayman. I think a lot of people just don't like Swayman. Craig says, when the cats are done, so are you. I know we're going to have like 10 people on the streams. That's okay. That's all right. Is what it is. We'll just have to build the fan base that we'll have a lot of new people coming. Kazuma says the Jaws, the Heat have Wade, Dolphins, Marino. Who would I say is the Panthers icon for South Florida? I think in terms of actual play on the ice, that should be Barkov. You know what I mean? But it seems as though Tkachuk is kind of the guy that gets the attention, right? But I think in terms of actual play on the ice, that would be Barkov. Scientist says Brad Marchand will be visiting the doctors and will be out tomorrow, probably longer. Paul, okay, good. Sit, Brad. Just we'll see you next year, buddy. Right? Stock says UPL is Buffalo's starter. Lion won't play in the playoff. You think so? Now, I the reason why I said that is because Lions got more starts. Lion has 28 starts. Pekka has 24, and Lions' numbers are better. And Lions got playoff experience. Does Pekka have any playoff experience? Let me see. No. So I'm curious why you feel that that's the way it would go when with giving the things that I just mentioned. Yeah, David. Do I think the Sabres are a contender this year? No, they're going to have to beat Tampa. And Tampa looks like they're just, whether they're going to play hockey or not, I don't know if the team that would beat Tampa would have any players left alive to win the next round. Relentless says, Hagel beat the hell out of a Sabres player and their fans loved it. The fans were just happy. I mean, they were just happy to be in a big game, right? Like, how many years have Buffalo teased that they were going to get better and then crater at the end? Spaceman, yeah, we heard the Tua news. That's Grego. SoFlo says, yeah, the lottery. Where were the Islanders last year? There you go. Dietrich's got a good point. They gave us Okposo for the run. The Sabres are cool with me. That's a good point. Yeah, it's not just Okposo. Reinhardt, Montour, Rodriguez. Oh, Susie, you mean everyone is underestimating Buffalo. Okay, gotcha. I don't know. I mean, they seem to be it's just a matter, look, like I've said in the last few streams, putting it together in the regular season and winning in the playoffs is two completely different things. It's the same, it's like shaving your head or shaving your beard. It's two very different things. So good for them that they're doing well. And they might they may have the pieces there, but learning to win in the playoffs, that can take a minute or two sometimes. Vincent says, do we have to unsubscribe now? No, I get enough of that. I'm not going anywhere. Kyle and I are still going to be here streaming 2 playoff series, maybe more. If the Sharks make the playoffs, I might come in here by myself and stream some of the Sharks playoff games, but they won't stop losing. David says we definitely need at least 15 wins, and that's only 95 points might not be enough. Yeah. The Oilers beat Vegas last night, are now only 2 wins out of leading the division. That's true. However, the Sharks are only 3 points behind the Oilers with 3 games in hand. I'm just saying. So while the Oilers are only 3 points there, the Sharks, 4 points. They're 4 points out of the Oilers, but they've got 3 games in hand and 2 head-to-heads coming. Come on, San Jose. Mankiller says Lyon will definitely play in the playoffs. He's been their best goalie this year. That's what I was been thinking, but I obviously don't watch Buffalo hockey, so I don't know the intricacies of all that stuff. Hungry says, I cannot wait to hear Dangle scream about Colin Campbell and George Peros protecting the Bolts. Oh, see, now that's one of the only things that would make me root for Tampa in any way, shape, or form. If it pisses Dangle off, that it might be a bonus. David says one of the Bolts got absolutely knocked out. It was glorious. I forget, was it Perry? No, or was it? I forget who it was, but I know one of the dudes got rocked. Mankiller says a hockey game broke out at the boxing match yesterday. Dolphin Buffalo's been lucky because they've been healthy. I mean, that's true, but nobody ever won the cup without luck. You know what I mean? So, as the Panthers will tell you, sometimes it's your year and sometimes it is not your year. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't go 3 games without losing a guy for the season. I missed the comment here. Scientist Marchand's doctor visit is to determine if surgery is needed. I wonder what it is. Hinestroza could make his debut tomorrow. I hope so. Let's just do it. Craig says Sabres are like the comeback Cats. Playoff hockey is different. I do worry about their defense. Of course, Tampa's defense didn't look real good last night either. Kenneth says Buffalo flew under the radar all year, and then we all beat each other up and forgot about Buffalo, and there they are. Yeah, that's very, very true. Real. Kazuma says, I prefer not making the playoffs than making it and getting it swept for the rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, especially if we're going to start resting guys and sitting guys now. we had an opportunity before the Olympic break, right? And while I can't quit, like if they win 5 in a row, I'm still going to be going maybe, maybe, maybe. But that was really our opportunity, was when we came out of the Olympic break. If you win 3, 4, 5 in a row, give yourself a chance. Instead, we did the opposite. Here's what it is. Gabriel says, Sabres remind me of the Panthers 4 years ago, but they have so much to learn. Yeah, especially, you saw it last night when Tampa was really buzzing to try to come back and take the lead and everything. The defense got a little. You can't be shaky on defense. You can't be questioning what position and which man and all of that. If you're not locked and loaded and a machine on defense, if you play in Tampa in the playoffs, they're going to roast you. But, we don't know how last night would have gone with Vasilevsky and Lyon either. There was some of those goals, Pekka didn't even move. He just the puck was just right past them. So it was Corey Perry. Yeah, I thought I remember seeing that. Yeah, David says, just ask the Oilers about not your year. When it's not your year, there's nothing you could do. Real says, we'll get the pick as long as Chucky stops getting hat tricks. How did the Kings do after missing the playoffs the following season? That's a good question. Let's see. 2015, 2013, 2014 is when they won. So after they won, they won twice. So they won in 12, and then they won again in 14. And then they missed the playoffs in 15. They lost in the first round in 16. They missed the playoffs in 17. They lost in the first round in 18. And then they missed in 19, 20, and 21, and have now lost in the first round 4 years straight. So we're going to pretend that we didn't see that, Kazuma. We're going to pretend that we didn't. Just delete that part of the live stream. That never happened. Scarego says, can we all just agree that Tampa is a bunch of bullies and the only outcome I want is them not winning? It's my hate for them is biblical. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I don't think Darlene's going anywhere hungry. How you doing, Goat Slayer? Today, I'm going fishing as soon as we're done here. The rods are in the van. I'm all ready to go. I found the tackle box that I couldn't find all last year. That's how you know it's going to be good. There was a whole ass another box that had all my little grubs and all my stuff in it. My little baits. I couldn't find it all last year. Boom, first place I looked this year, found it. So I'm ready to go now. And then it's going to be cold again in a few days. But for today, I'm going out there. Probably won't catch anything. Greg says, tanking teams in South Florida never win. Stop with the tank, thinking the bad vibes will always win. Did none of them ever win? Well, now, hold on a second. They don't win immediately. But the Marlins, hold on a second. I mean, I know that we won in 97, and then we tanked in 98 and 99, and by 2003 we won again. That not count? I mean, your point, I get your point, but I don't know. I kind of feel like the Marlins might be the only ones that have pulled that off. Vincent says, let's just pick an NHL-ready player and trade Mackey in the summer, maybe Erod too. I think it's time to slide Ekblad down the lineup since we stuck with him. So you want to replace him. So Forsling, new guy, Mikula Ekblad. No. Well, where's Jones? How far down do you want to send him, Vincent? Or do you want to just put Jones up top with Forsling? Gabe says, I hate Tampa, but I also respect him, and they ultimately made the Panthers better. That's fair, yeah. I agree, man, Killer. A lot of teams, there'll be a lot of fans rooting for the Sabres. Just like there was a lot of fans rooting for the Panthers when we were playing the Bruins before everybody hated us. It wasn't that long ago. Hungy says, so looking at the draft lottery, the Isles won it last year from the 10th position, 3.5%. So we need to tank harder. There's no way the 10th position will win 2 lotteries in a row. I mean, we're only going to get so far down, though. But if we start resting guys, we might be able to get into that 7-8 conversation. Boy, that would piss Chicago off. Craig says, tank for Tua worked great. Well, we got the player we tanked for. I mean, that's it's worked that much. Real says, we're not tanking to go on a rebuild, though. We've got a good roster. It's just hurt. But when you get talented young player in there, we have a shot at another deep run. So I guess also the thing that seems to be, it doesn't look like Vilmanis is coming back. It looks like we're going to run guys like Reinhart and Hinostroza. Now, I would assume that is because they want him to play for the Checkers in the playoffs and for them to do well. But I thought he played well enough for us, but I guess maybe they want him to play. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me is that they want him to play in the Calder playoffs. Hungy says, the Cats might not have been losing on purpose, but they definitely built a winner using those picks from those terrible seasons. We forget, let's see, Florida Panthers draft history. We forget how high for how long we picked. You go all the way back to 2000 and really kind of for so long. And, but to your point, I'm going back here and it's like we were mostly top 10 for forever and it didn't help for a while. So Stephen Weiss with the 4, Jay Bouwmeester with the 3 in 2002. 2003 was Nathan Horton with a 3. We had 7 in 2004, and then Frolik and with the 10th pick in 2006, Keaton Ellerby with the 10th pick in 2007. Markstrom's the best pick out of most of them, and he was at number 31, round 2. Yeah, he wasn't even a first rounder. Kulikov at number 14. That's worked out. And then Gabranson at number 3 in 2010. Huberdeau at 3 in 2011. Matheson was 23. Barkov was 2 and 13. And then Ekblad was number 1 and 14. And then Lawson Krause with number 11. We were doing so well. Barkov, Ekblad, Krause. Now, Krause has had a reasonably successful NHL career, but he was taken 11th. Borgstrom at 23 and 16. Tippett with number 10 and 17. I'm going to start to throw up here. That whole Krause, Borgstrom, Tippett, that whole 3 years just makes me want to throw up. That's when I started the channel. Jesus, we took Denisenko with 15 in 2018. That's 4 awful years in a row, give or take. Lawson Krause being decent, Noah Tippett being okay, but not where they were drafted. Spencer Knight in 2019. Lundell, and we got Zito with Lundell in 2020, and then Sam Miskevich in 21, Alsher in 22, but that's a third-round pick. And then Sachin a couple of years ago, Eriksson a couple of years ago, and Mads. We got Mads Combs. We had the 4th-round pick. Yeah, last year that was our 1st-round pick, was a 4th-round pick. That's nice. Vincent says Jones is our best D talent-wise, and Forsling is refusing to do a two-man job now. Right, that's obvious to you. So, what you want to just do Forsling, Jones, Ekblad, Mikkola? I'd be okay with that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd be okay with that. That's a good point, Real. Hey, MJ, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Jaws, happy Monday. Tua's gone. Adios, Tua. Drawback is we're going to have to eat something like $100 million of his contract. I know. Yeah, and we traded Fitzpatrick for a 7th. Yeah, Real. In terms of Marchand, just let him sit. But I am curious what's the injury. I wonder if he's got the same thing that Kachuk had. Everything is good, MJ. Me, MJ. I'm the Dolphins quarterback. I'm the new Dolphins quarterback. Yeah. Hagel got fined $5,000 for what happened with Darlene. I guess because the punches after Darlene fell, I would assume. Oh. Craig, yeah, run and misses draft-wise was a setback. It slowed the Cats from being contenders. Yeah, we had a lot of high picks that just not great. That's exactly right, MJ. As long as the Leafs finish worse than us, we'll be okay. Silva says, all right, we're already resting Reinhardt and Marchand. Who's next? I say give Forsling a break and call Bornfoot back up. I'd be good with that. And don't even bother bringing Seth Jones back. Like, just don't even bother doing it. Just let him rest. He's no youngster. Lechka says no, because if the Leafs finish with the worst record, they'll get a top 5 pick. She's got a point. Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, MJ, I'll be there for OTAs. I'll at least last 30 or 40 seconds. Marino's already in camp getting loose. I mean, hell, how much worse can he be than how much worse can he be? Real says if Jaws is quarterback, maybe we'll finally be good in cold weather. They got it. See, I'm so short. They got to be able to you know how low those guys got to get to hit me? I just be a running quarterback. That's all. They can't find me. I just hide behind the linemen. They can't see me. Bobby says, all it took for the Leafs to collapse was losing Marner. Lechka says, otherwise that pick goes to Boston. But, I mean, everybody's eventually going to have to give up their picks, right? No, I don't mean don't bring them back to the team, MJ. I mean just don't bring them back for this season because his collarbone is still not perfectly healed yet. So I'm just saying let him rest until next season. He's got a long-term contract. Yeah, David got me there. No, I definitely did not see ballers. So, Susie, apparently Hinestroza probably looks like he's going to play, but Cole Reinhardt was not the guy that was practicing. For some reason, they went with Cunnin again. I don't know why. I'd like to see Reinhardt, but he'll get his chance. Hey, True, how you doing, bud? Larry Zonka. Oh, you're talking about the Ballers. Larry Zonka had a guest appearance and got named head coach of the fictional Dolphins. So it says, Josh, you keep saying this year's draft pick isn't free, but do you seriously think our 28 pick will be better than this year's? This is our best chance to get a really high quality prospect. So, do we know? This is a genuine question. Do we know if it's lottery protected just one time or not? You see what I'm saying? Like if it's supposed to go to them in 28, what if we're in the lottery again? Does it keep getting pushed back, or is it just one shot? Yeah, Bobby. Well, let's get him signed to a contract. In terms of Bubba, we need to get him signed to a contract now. Leafs first round is top 5 protected. They traded it to Boston in exchange for the guy they just let go for a third. Yeah, Kenneth says, who would have thought at the beginning of the year we would have been arguing who would have finished with the worst record in March? We might have been arguing over who was going to finish first or second place. That was way more likely to be the argument. Jeez. Excuse me. David says, I'm forced to work inside today until they fix your computer. Outside? That's interesting. Only protected for the 1 year, only one time. Okay. All right. Well, then that makes sense. Well, watch them start resting guys, and we start playing all these young guys with a bunch of legs, and we start winning. What happens then? What if we rest everybody and like all these, we start playing a bunch of young kids and they got a bunch of energy and we just start winning games? You never know. Yeah, nobody's out tanking the Canucks, that's for sure. Okay, so it's just the one time. True, yeah, man. That game last night was wild. What the hell was I doing? I took a day off. I don't remember what I was doing. That's for sure, MJ. They're breaking that drought. They're not gonna choke this one up. Greg says draft picks are also a tad overrated. Look at how many high picks they've had from signing free agents, right? Well, when you look at the guys that we, other than, well, Samoskevich, Lundell, and then Barkov and Ekblad, when we're healthy. So that's 4 of our own first round picks. Actually 5, because Kulikov. Right? So we've got 5 of our own first round picks on the team. And then let me see. I think that I know Sam Bennett makes 6. And Sam Reinhart is 7. So who else? Is it only the 7? Was Marchand the first round pick? No, 3rd round. So we got 7 first rounders. I think, where was Luosterainen? I know he wasn't a first. Where did Lusterinen get drafted? Second round, 11th pick in the second round. So I think it's 7 first round as well. What about Bubba? What about Bubba? Bubba's undrafted. That goes to show you don't know where you're going to find a goalie. Yeah, so I think it's 7 first rounders that we've got. Oh, wait, Jones might make 8. Where was Jones? Yeah, Jones is 8. Right. That's like half the team is first rounders. No wonder we're good. Ever work construction? No. No. That's all of the no's. Hungry says put Bob in so we can command the tank. Tampa's had a pretty bad stretch since the Olympics. They've only beaten the Leafs, you think? Let me see. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Let's see. They beat the Leafs. Yeah. Yeah, they've only beaten the Leafs. That is correct. That is correct. And they've lost to the Sabres twice. Was that 6-2 game with Vasilevsky? That's got to be Johansson. No, Vasilevsky started that game. Interesting. So it says Zito's highest pick was Lundell. I'd like to see if Zito could get another Lundell. Lechka. Oh, they'll be around. Yeah, Bubba was undrafted. Yeah, exactly, Omar. David says, I'm going to say Sabres, if not the Cats versus Stars in the Stanley Cup final. That would be wild. What's the UFA class for the – let me see here. Let me look at that for a second. I think that they're pretty well in a similar situation with us. Jeez. So going into next year, the UFAs are Borgstrand, Corey Perry, Sabrin, Radish, and that's it. They're in pretty much the same position the Panthers are in. Maybe not everybody locked up as long like Kucherov. Kucherov next year is on an expiring contract. So that'll be interesting. But everybody else, Point, Gensel, Hagel, Sorelli are all until 2030, 31, 32. Nick Paul till 28, 29. Gord until 31. And mostly even the role guys are signed for next year. Geeky, Gergensons, Gonzalez, Holmberg. Defensively, Hedman until 29-30. McDonough till 29-30. Cernak till 31. Moser to 34. Like they're pretty much as locked and loaded as we are. You can see me working with a jackhammer and a bulldozer. No, it's never been my thing. Never been my thing. If I'm going to be outside all the time, I'll be fishing. Omar says, I'm thinking both the Panthers and Lightning are nearing the end of their runs. Both teams average in the 30s. Yeah, I mean, I think the Panthers in a little bit of a better position. Not this year, but I think we've got some younger guys that can still come up and be part of future cups. But Kucha's 32, which is a little bit older than Barkov. Gensel's 31. Paul's 30. Gord's 34. Perry obviously doesn't count. But Point's only 29. Hagel's only 27. Very similar. Sorelli's 28. Very, very similar mixture of age and everything. The difference is obviously Vasilevsky is still young. Silva, what were you? There's a Latvian defenseman you have your eyes on. He's a projected top 10 pick, and Vilmanis and Belinskas talked extremely high about him. Okay. Bobby says, I hope McKenna goes to Chicago. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. They've gone way, way over the boundaries of the Pride Lands in terms of standings, to the point where they're in last place now at 57 points. I mean, I thought that they were going to do really well. They were near or in a playoff spot the whole damn, at least half of the season almost. And how's Spencer Knight doing? God, he's 2.62 and a 9.08. And his record is 16, 18, and 8. Spencer Knight is got a 2.62 and a 9.08. And he is 16, 18, and 8. That's horrible. That's just, if Bobrovsky was a 2.62 and a 9.08, the Panthers would be in first friggin' place. And he says, is Corey Perry going to play until he finally wins another cup? Oh, you meant blue line guys. Oh, well, now you have a report on Tampa. In terms of Florida, Ekblad signed, Forsling signed, Jones, Mikula are signed, Belinskas is signed, and Kulikov is signed. That about wraps that up. So we could improve over any of those guys, but if we wanted to go in the next season with that as the 6, they're all signed up and good. That's okay, Colin. I don't want to work. I just never been a big my joints have always hurt me too much to do that to do constructions and stuff like that. Like, by the time I was 21, 22, I had pretty much destroyed my knee from playing sports, all 4 sports and martial arts. Yeah, I'd be working at Brass Pro Shops. That's exactly right, Kenneth. That's exactly right. I was going to take the job at the fishing place down the road, but I would have had to lose the noon streams, and then I would have not been able to be there for most of the Panther games. So that wasn't going to do me any good. $16 an hour to not be able to do the channel anymore. So I thought maybe if they were going to be like during the day, you know what I mean? 10 to 4, whatever it would be, Kyle could run the noon stream. But they basically wanted me there from like noon to like 8, sometimes 9 o'clock every night. So that wasn't going to work. If the Village people ever go back on tour, I could see you being the Indian or the cop. MJ, no. What's left of my body is maybe 15 years ago. Yeah, our captain is 5 years younger. Kuch hasn't scored in those last 15 playoff games. That's wild. I don't know the answer to that, MJ, in terms of the World Series of fishing. I don't watch a lot of fishing. I'll watch some YouTube videos every once in a while. MJ says Knight might want out of Chicago next year. Didn't he sign a contract? He signed a contract, right? I'm pretty sure. I thought, yeah, he signed a deal. Let's see, 3 years at 5.83 per. It starts next year, and it's 3 years. Let me see. I doubt he's got a no move clause or anything like that. So they could send him back anytime they want. What would Knight's stats be in the Atlantic? It's a good question. I mean, we knew he was a good goalie. It just we made the move we needed to make, and he, Knight deserved an opportunity. He needed a chance to play. He wasn't going to get it here. Windy City Hockey is obviously angry. Yeah, the Blackhawks, they just blew it, man. Leshka thinks Knight is streaky at best. Let's see. Let me see. Let's look at Knight's game logs. I don't know. So what's interesting about how the Blackhawks have started tanking. On December 6th, Knight gave up 6 goals. Since then, now the next game after that, he pitched a shutout. But since that game on December 6th, he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's had 22 starts since giving up the 6 goals. He's only allowed more than 3 goals twice in the last 22 games, including a run of, you can just go back all the way, but in the last, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 7 games, he's given up 3 goals, and one time he gave up 2. And they're losing the games. Yeah, that's crazy. Come on back, Spencer. Yeah, Bass Pro Spa. Oh, Cabela's. The Cabela's used to be one in North Miami. I forget where it was. Was it at the Miami? Was it at the 163rd Street Mall? No. Where was that Cabela's? I forget where it was. Bass Pro Department Manager Jaws. Hey, maybe when I retire from YouTube. When I pay off my debt, I can retire and retire, keep working. That's my that's what I'm going to do for my retirement. I'm going to keep working, but I'm just going to say I'm retired, but I keep working. That's how it works, right? Real says Hawks fans were acting like they won the trade and that we were screwed taking Jones. Meanwhile, we got a cup and they still suck. Just another reason why I want to pick this year. They'll be so mad. That's true. Yes, you're petty. Wait, is that real, Colin? Malik Willis? Is that real? No joke. So we're paying quarterbacks next year like what, $70 million? I guess what's his name? What the hell's his name? The other guy. I guess he's not getting a chance, the 7th round kid. That's wild, Colin. Appreciate that. What do I recommend as good bait fishing for minnows there? Wait. Fishing for minnows? Or I'm confused. best thing I know that to do with fishing for minnows is what I would do is take some oatmeal and you put it on the top of the water, you spread some oatmeal out, and then they come up and you just scoop them up with the net. I should start a band. Maybe when I'm retired, right? All right, David. I don't know about the opt-out, MJ. I don't know about that. Alechka doesn't miss Spencer Knight at all. Sorry, he ain't it. You know what that reminds me of, Alechka? When everybody told me not to be upset that we lost Marchessault and Smith, because everybody told me it would never have an effect on the Panthers. So hopefully, one of the times we do make it back to the Stanley Cup, hopefully we're not playing Chicago with McKenna, Bedard, and Spencer Knight. Ghost there says we shouldn't have got rid of Lyon, just saying. Yeah, money was tight, right? Yeah, Real, you wanted Lyon for backup this year. I know. What was his contract? How much did Alex get? I know that he wanted to be able to have an opportunity to start. 1.5? So he got 400,000 more than Tarasov. That's nice. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that either. Exactly, Bobby. They were never going to get those. They were never going to pass Bobby. Hey, Bucks. Yeah, Malik Willis. That's interesting. So that's how we're I don't know. Dolphins, it sounds like Dolphins still doing Dolphins things. Ever thought about being a Walmart greeter? No, I don't like people that much. No, I do not like people that much. I talk to you guys. That's all the socialization I need. In fact, it's 1:00. In a couple of minutes, I'm getting off of here and I'm going in the van. I'm going down to the river and I'm going fishing. I'm recording it. I'm going to put it on the fishing channel. So I should have that out later on today. Hopefully I catch something. Hey, Lightning Girl. Yeah, you saw that there's people coming out as because Social Security, it don't pay nothing. Like I think my Social Security, I think right now I would get like $1,400, and then I'm allowed to like maybe make another $1,000. If it was just me, I could if I was just me and I was debt free, I could probably live on that. If it was just me. But it's not just me. Yeah, MJ. Real thinks we're going to have McKenna. Yeah, exactly, Lightning Girl. Now you got another team that you can fight with. Your guys are a bunch of bullies. Landeskog collecting it out for LTIR. Is Landeskog always on LTIR? Not season ending, though, right? Yeah, we're the baby brother. Lightning Girl, that just means we're younger and better looking. That's all that really means, Lightning Girl. You want to call us baby brother? That's fine. We get all the chicks. Hungry. Yeah, the fishing channel. I'll post it later. Oh, Lightning Girl. Ever seen a movie Almost Famous? Oh, maybe. It sounds familiar, but I'm not really sure. Tiny Dancer has been stuck in your head for years. Yeah, I had something. I had some stupid song that I woke up with in my head. I don't remember what the hell it was. So, Almost Famous was in 2000. Real says, baby brother, that just means Tampa got their ass beat by a little kid the last 2 years in the playoffs. Yeah, that just means Tampa is as boomers and the Panthers are Gen X. That's all that means. That's fine. That's fine. All right, I'm going fishing. Screw you guys. I'm going fishing. I'm out. The rods, everything is in the car. I found the tackle box I couldn't find all last year. I found it this morning. I'm going. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to catch anything because it's way early. It's been cold, but we've had 3 days over 60 degrees. It's 75 right now. So maybe I catch something and we'll see. Yeah, we know what you were doing with your paddle there, Lightning Girl. We know what you was doing. All right, everybody. Now I'll put a post out when I put the video together. I put it out on the fishing channel. I'll make a post because a lot of you apparently don't know about the fishing channel. So that's what we're going to do. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon.